delegation. What we can delegate? What we can delegate? If you are can you delegate authority?
No.
Yes. Why
not? If people delegate, yes, okay.
So we can say, okay, we can say that you are responsible for this duty, for this task, and you have authority to double check your co-workers. So like top manager to middle manager. But still, also we're talking about technical activities. And there are specialist functions of an individual or those that derive from vocational field. That means like if management activities, they are common for any organization. Technical activities, they're very specific. To press a specific button as a specialist, you know, like how to check the quality of the product. This is technical activities. Also, we're talking about responsibility, and this is a duty or task to be performed. And authority. Authority, this is a power. This is a power that manager has as a specialist, as a director, right? As a person who is in charge. Accountability, the obligation to be held responsible for what was expected, what happened, and what was unexpected. There is also such thing as unexpected things. Force majeure, for example, right? So here there are two definitions of management. The first one was defined by Management Association, the head of Management Association in 1980s. And he says that management is getting things done through other people. The second one is a modern definition. And I can't say that this is the only one, or this is the most, but that's here we're talking that management is working with and through other people to accomplish the objectives of both the organization and its members. What are the differences between the definitions? Can you see the differences between them?
The first definition said that management is getting things done through other people. But the second said that management is working through other people.
Okay. So what's the difference? Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example? In 1980s, we're talking about organization, and people was somewhere on the side with their ambition, with their career opportunities, with their motivation, with their, desires. But right now, modern management is not talking only about organization and its goals, but we're talking about employee satisfaction, right? employee career opportunities, employee, I don't know, education. So something that matters, and people matters for the second one. Okay. Question for you. What kind of management job titles do you know? No, just name me something.
Office manager.
Office manager, okay.
Sales manager.
Sales manager.
Product manager. Product manager.
Product manager. Marketing manager.
SMA manager.
SMA manager.
Financial
CEO.
manager.
CEO.
CEO manager. Target manager.
Target manager. HR manager. Human resources. Anybody else? So this is like middle level. What about top managers? Director, president, right? So like here you can find something like, 1 second here. Team leader, frontline supervisor. I guess this is like one of the lowest management position. Somebody who is in charge of some small part. Middle level manager, department head, vice president, president, officer, chief officer, managing director, deputy officer. So all kind of management examples, right? So, and when we're talking about management functions, and some of you that has you know, some experience with the management education know that there are like 4 major areas that you can, you know, you can split them, but there are 4 major areas that we can apply management manager. And the first one is planning. Manager have to plan what they want to accomplish and develop specific actions in order to reach those goals. Also, we have organizing. Manager must figure out how many people I need to get the job and tasks done. 2, 3, 15, 500,000, whatever. They also determine how the job flow happens, who does what. Generally, we talk about what kind of structure will be put in place to get these tasks done. And we can talk here about organization. We can talk about project, you know, some part-time project. We can talk about, you know, some routine or unique jobs. So that also matters. Leading. Someone from you mentioned this, and leading, this is something that our managers should do. Should supervise, lead, motivate, train, coach, guard, hire, and assess employees. There are a lot of ways that this can be done. Different factors, different ways of leading your employees. Third, the fourth one is controlling. Manager must monitor what's going on in their area to make sure that these goals or objectives are done to be met. If the goals are not going to be met, then the correct action can be taken. The earlier the corrective action is taken, the easier it is to return back on track, you know, to feel. So, question, can you give me examples of this function, you know, some particular one. Just think about this.
For example, if we want to organize a birthday for someone, firstly, we have to plan how many people will we invite and what products do we need, and all this stuff. And then, secondly, we will organize all this event.
Okay. Okay. Also, you have to think about how much it will cost, right? In details.
Of course.
Products, organizers, whatever. And then we have somebody to lead this birthday party. And it doesn't matter if you pay them or you can do it like as a volunteer. And the last one, since you started and you didn't finish, so we can control something. Control if everything on track, if we have enough products, if all the guests are interested, and is it too long, or we have to speed up, or we have to, you know, spend extra minutes for some activities because everybody likes it. So there's also management. Right? Okay. Anything else? Anybody else wants to share? Anything? Do you have experience like some of you, if I understand correctly, some of you working, right? So you probably have some work experience as a management function. Marketing, okay.
To plan, the company needs to participate in international exhibition. We need to plan, so we plan the exhibition in how many money we need to participate, how many people will participate in this exhibition. So then we organize tickets to this country.
Order some advertising stuff, okay.
So then my director leads me to do everything, then company participate in this exhibition, and I control and monitor
Dates.
Number of tickets.
Finances transfer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Communications.
Managers in another countries.
Written, oral communication, so you have to write them, you have to talk to them on the phone, on Skype, whatever. So yeah, okay. Okay. Jules, I want to hear you very much.
So much experience.
Okay, then just imagine one. That's why you're here. You want to open store. What kind of store? Okay. And probably there are all these functions should be described in this business plan, right? You should organize people. Okay. Do you rent or you own the store? First, that will be rent, okay. And you also think about what kind of products you will sell. Products, or services, or whatever. Grocery store, okay. So one of the possibilities, for example, you can have an agreement with the local farmers, and you can sell local grocery products here in Taganrog. Okay, okay. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else wants to share? I heard somebody. Dmitry, what about you? No? We have music here. Just robotic stuff. Okay. Any ideas? What?
No.
No ideas. Okay. I'm listening. Yeah, I'm here.
A manager have to have a plan, maybe for register for a student. He have to plan for maybe for a week or a month. What should he do? The first, he should guide all of the students what they need. Photo,
Good. So we can talk about any kind of services, educational services, tourism services, right? I don't know, insurance services, banking stuff, whatever. So yeah, that's also do here. Okay, let's move on. So, do you want to add anything? Do you want to add anything?
And I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Because I mixed, забила английский, русский, очень китайский. I'm so sorry.
You can't do it like in one day. You need time, Nadiri. You're doing great. Just continue speak. It's good that you're not afraid to speak. It doesn't matter, Russian or English, whatever. Okay, so here there are several management skills that we have. And we can talk about conceptual skills, something to be able to see the big picture of the situation. Ability to arrive at ideas, create a vision, or plan for the future. I don't know, when we're talking about this, Elon Musk and his ideas, you know, trips to Mars, Tesla. I have an interview of Elon Musk like from last year. He was talking about moving like deep underground, you know, to make tunnels and to connect United States so you can travel faster with your car. You have a car like a pneuma mail, you know, and you just over there. Technical. Something possesses specific knowledge or have specified expertise. You know, the unique expert. Stradivari and his violins. Something that's very technical and very specific. Human. This is something that's most common, and we're talking, we see our manager as a psychologist, person who be able to work well with others, both individually and in group setting. I have a friend of mine, and she was a director of IT company. And she says that IT specialists or IT program engineers, they're a very specific person. And if you have like a task, and if you have a project to do, it's very hard to create the atmosphere for them to work all together, and you have to monitor and you have to guide them, and you know, they can work with in different conditions. Some of them need supervision. Some of them pretend to work on their own, and you still need, you know, to see the whole process, to be conceptual. Okay, so here.
Yelena Lvovna, I have a question.
Yes.
In the conceptual skills of management, market capture by one product, will this include in the conceptual skills?
Yes, of course. So this is something that you can see. You can see like the big picture, yeah, crude gas and the situation, politics, Coca-Cola company. Okay, let me give you an example of conceptual. That's also, I think all of you know about McDonald's company. World brand, you can find it almost in every country, and it has several rules, and you know, several general rules for the whole system, and quality standards and price specification. Like, for example, you can say that the hamburger in any country, hamburger costs $1. You can convert it. So that's also, that was a conceptual stuff. But several years ago, I read an article about McDonald's and their rebranding. That McDonald's possesses as a like how fast food company, and it's not healthy, and I was surprised because it like the size of the company is, you know, bold, and we're talking about rebranding, and not only like that's menu, you know, all the brand names, signs, everything. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, and then I saw it in practice, and they finally did it. So, if you think about McDonald's from the last century, what was their colors? Red and yellow. And marketing manager decided that since we're talking about McDonald's not as a fast food company, but as a more healthy company, then the new colors will be green
It's a
and
franchise. McDonald's is a franchise company.
yeah, it's franchise company, but still, you know, the image of the company was a fast food, not unhealthy food, right?
Yes.
And so what they started with rebranding, and they add green notes, and they start with the packing stuff where they write calories and what's in the food, so the stuff, and they add salads. That's never happened. You know, I spent like 6 years in United States in 2000. So, and I know there were no salads in McDonald's. So that was ridiculous. Now we have all kind of stuff. So they're moving to this healthy trend. And that was conceptual because they already the world brand. You have to think about something or die. You know, you're already like on the top when we're talking about exponential. So, and they did it. Or you can think about any other companies that move their direction, make it, you know, tremendously. Like Tesla, for example, electric cars. New ideas, vision, plan for the future, wrong timing. That was the problem for Tesla cars. Good for small countries like Norway, for example, where you can put all the stuff and you can charge these cars. Thinking about Russia, how long can you drive from one city to another and find somebody, you know, to charge your car? So then so this is something when we see the whole picture like in a world format, with all the micro stuff, with the political issues, demographic issues, geographic issues, technical new, you know, innovation stuff, economy. So right now we are here and this is a time for changes. And the economy is changing, and we have sanctions, and the world economy is not working like it was like 10 years ago. Education changes, right? So, okay, Dima, did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Guys, I do love example and I do love feedback, so. And I also need time, you know, to get comfortable with all this format that we have right now, so. Okay, here you can see like managerial and technical activities at different levels of management. And you can see the time they spend from 0 to 100%. And if you can see that our first line supervisor or the low position of management, they spend more technical function rather than the president. And the president is working with managerial function, conceptual function. The higher the position, the more time he spent with the managerial activities. And I think this is obvious, so I'm not going to stop with this one. There is a contract with the level on the, so we have a management level and we have a function level, it's lower one here. So here, we have 3 management concepts that we already started to talk about, and we talk about responsibility, we talk about authority, and we talk about accountability. Right? Right. So, one second. Well, we already discussed that the higher the position we have, the more responsibility, but also we have more authority. And this is something that matters. If you are responsible for something, you need some instruments of management. If you have several employees under your control, how you can manage them? What can you do? How you can benefit them? Can you give me some examples? Let's say you are a middle level manager. What can you do?
Work with the line managers. Create a short team of something big as the smaller the group are, the easier to control.
Okay.
And so there will be several
pyramid. We will talk about this a little bit later. So that's a pyramid. Yeah. So we can, delegate our authority and responsibility. We can think about, we can benefit them with some privileges, with the time and money, if we can share with the, bonuses. Or what can you do as a manager to punish them? Can you fire the person if you're head of the department? Or you should ask direct about this one. So, also, there are several, there are typical list of reasons if you have problem with management. What can be a problem to manage something? For example, the small size of the unit. So there are not enough, there is a shortage of employees, right? And there is a lot of responsibilities and a lot of tasks they should do, functions. There is a technical nature of tasks. For example, you hire a person and he or she is not the specialist in this field. Perceptive need of the manager to stay current in the technical field. So manager is working with with his employees rather than managing them, supervising, because there is a shortage. For example, I don't know, digging ground, fundament for the new house, the foundation. So subordinates not working to capacity, right? Who is responsible for what? Should you obey manager or not? Is it comfort with the familiar? What are expectations of the boss? This one here, and what kind of resources we have. And this we will talk with our practical part about this. So there are typical reasons why we have problems with management. Should we do a 5-minute break or should we continue now till the end of the?
Continue, please.
Continue, please.
No problem.
Okay. So here, this is a task for you. Can you write me your suggested management process? Okay, I'll make it easier. Can you open an example? You have an example. There is a situation. There is a situation. This is a Word document. Word documented files. There is a situation, and you should write your suggested management process for this situation. Can you do this? File. I'll show it to you.
Yes. Okay.
Here, suggested management situation. Yeah. So, 1 second. Куда у меня файлы делись? А у вас файлы есть?
А можно вопрос на голову? Тут в файле всего два текста, один диалог и второй вопрос, небольшой текст. Что из этого нужно взять?
Вот, да.
Второе?
Да.
Спасибо.
Там диалог, и там идет как раз... Нашли, нет? Did you find it? So, here. This one. Write down here your suggested management process. You got like 10 minutes to see this and to check it. And I'll give you time, like, you know, till like let's say 20 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes. Guys, do you have problem to find this file? Do you have this file?
Yes, I have. If you can, just it will be better if you show it.
I can't show the whole picture. That's a problem.
Okay, so and where I can find it? I just don't understand.
I can send you this file.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
In Teams.
Нашли, нет?
Сейчас. Как?
Она там двигала эти каналы.
А вы можете открыть доступ к чату, потому что здесь чат доступен. Я в чат скину файл, просто тут чат доступен только для руководителей.
Я могу попробовать.
А где изначально этот файл был?
В беседе. Ты ВК есть в беседе у нас?
Нет, меня не вставили сегодня почему-то.
Ну вот ВК. У нас там.
Потому что она вышла в собрание по магистратуре. Вот и все. Hold on. Okay. I do have practices for each lesson, so it's important that we can share it and we can use it. Нет, это вообще какой-то, подождите. Так, hold on. Here.
Как ты подписана в ВК? Так же, как и здесь?
Так, одну минуту, давайте я сейчас скину свою ссылку тогда.
Нет, ты мне скажи, ты точно так же подписана в ВК, как и здесь? Я тебе сейчас просто добавлю.
Да.
Все, сейчас я сделаю.
Угу.
Из Ростова? У тебя город Ростов стоит?
Нет, Владикавказ.
Россия, Владикавказ.
В очках там аватарка.
Case study. Yeah. Yes.
Что он прикол? Что нет никаких сюжетов.
Какой у тебя номер? Я тебе скину ссылку просто.
Номер в чате 7148 заканчивается.
Сейчас найду.
Сейчас разберемся.
Все, кидаю ссылку.
Увидел. Сейчас тебя добавлю быстро. Ставить.
Поняла. Оно ушло в менеджер Academy. That's a problem. Why?
Да. Давай у тебя. Принимай. Анаит. Все, да.
Получилось?
Все, да, все получилось.
What about the rest of you guys?
Все получилось. Так, вот смотри, я переслал для тебя 2 файла. Второй, один из них это docs, это вот то, что нужно. Второй.
Все, хорошо.
So good.
Спасибо.
Не за что.
Все? Девочки, мальчики. Okay, so you have like 20 minutes and you should write the suggested process for this situation.
Okay.
There is a problem. There is a problem with George as an employee and controller as a manager. Okay?
Okay.
You need to, answer this question. There are 2 questions here, and there is also a suggested management process for the second case study with the John.
What might be some of the reasons for someone to go not every day, that he or she should
It can be shortage of time, it can be shortage of employees, it can be the not clearance with the responsibilities and tasks.
basically the reasons why they can't complete the task.
Yeah, why they can successfully communicate. Okay, girls and boys, there are 2 courses. One said Modern Management Technologies, and there you can find files, 2 files. And the other course is Managerial Economy, and this course will be on Friday. So that's why you can find them, and I couldn't find them too. So you have 20 minutes to work on cases, okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys, let me help you a little bit.
Give us 5 minutes, please. More, 5 more minutes.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, whatever. So you have time for this, so that's your practical part.
Please, one question. We need to write this, or we
are discussing it right now, and
we can discuss it on with two people discuss situations. I work with.
We just discuss the situation, then you will think about this in a little bit more detail, as your homework. Okay. Right now, it's only the discussion, so you understand what I want from you. Okay.
Okay.
Discussion. So you read your case and you answer the questions.
Oh yeah, okay.
Guys, what about the rest of you?
We are done.
Mm-hmm. All of you? All of you? Okay. 1 second. So. Can you see the case?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have management problems, right? What kind of management problems we have here? Does anybody want to answer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We with Anait read this text and find three free problems.
Yeah.
First is first and main problem. George does not see his mistakes and solutions. The controller want to understand George his mistake. George need to optimize schedule.
The schedule, yes, of his group, of his team.
And he needs to hire half-time staff in order to have staff in reserve. George has have problem with people on work, and he do work в одиночку once.
By himself.
No, yes, by himself, yes. And George must understand he need a group workers who, and George must delegate his сейчас я слово подберу, his work on this group, and George want to do his work in time.
On time.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Guys, what can you say? Who is the top manager here? Controller. Controller is the top manager. And who is George?
Middle manager.
Middle manager. So he is a supervisor.
Yes.
And and the situation is that we have a controller, and he says that this is a good job, but it has to be done what? On time, early. And George says we have like several problems with employees. What kind of problems? Somebody is ill.
Somebody is on vacation.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody goes rest.
So finally, what did George do?
George work alone.
Yes, he worked by himself. So instead of managing function, he took technical functions. Good. So he is writing reports. He has a piles of paper and he is writing reports. And so, like he said, what's the problem with the meeting? What's the communication problem?
That controller and George just don't understand each other.
They don't understand each other. They're talking on different levels.
Yes, yes.
Instead of what?
The controller understood George. That was why he said, let's go for dinner. But George didn't get it because the controller wanted to explain things to him on how he can be able to manage.
There is no management problem. He said, okay, let's go for lunch. And George says, I have no time for this. So
because he wanted to tell him, what, like advise him. Because he said in paragraph before, he said, George, I don't want you to work hard. I don't want you to work overtime. I want you to organize the department.
Organize. So here, see here, we have, I don't want you to work harder. Let's go for lunch. I want you to organize your department. So like you said, you know, add some part-time employees, you know, just delegate some responsibilities, delegate some stuff, you know, some technical functions to do, technical stuff to do. And George, does George accept this invitation? No. So we still have a problem with the communication problem. So it's not solving, sorry guys, but we have communication problem when we have top manager and middle manager, and he's very unsatisfied. So he just kept, you know, moving towards the door and talking that he is the hardest workaholic in the company. And these people, you know, just give me, they don't give me overtime. They just, you know, and they leave home at 5 o'clock and I have to stay late. Maybe George, like maybe like if we talk about China, for example, in Chinese company, yeah, that will work. But in American company, no, I don't think so. So you have two questions. Like you name me the reasons that someone is involved heavily in technical activities, right? What should be done so to give your managerial level, like organize, right? Something. Which of the things are actually under manager control? And what can he do to change them? Like you said, you have to think about instead of doing stuff by himself, he should what? Organize his department in some stuff. So that's it. And here, when you will be writing, there are like several reasons that can be named and how to deal with them. We're talking about resource, we're talking about subordinates, right? We talk about small size of the unit. For example, I need another specialist, full-time or part-time. This is also, it's not his authority. He's a supervisor. He's not a financial director or HR manager. Is it possible to substitute people with the, you know, new member of staff or not?
From this, he doesn't know, I believe, or I think, he doesn't know his staff, because if he did, he will understand that one is probably not feeling too well because he has worked too much.
Okay.
One was meant to go on vacation like a month ago, and he had 2 weeks to do the project. He should have involved the person before he traveled. He did not.
Yeah. Also, like you said, there should be a procedure if you have if you have somebody that is ill and this accepted, like this one got, you know, find a new job, then you should think about substitution, and there is no time for vacation, right? So you can actually ask a person to, you know, to return back to work. It's a possibility. Okay, this one, okay. Do you understand the case? Is it clear? You will write these answers in your homework. Are you hearing me? Good. Case number 2. Case number 2.
Repeat, please. Homework is second question.
I will tell it like in the end of the lecture. I'll show what you should do for the next week.
Okay. Thank you.
So here we have a case study. Introduction to the management process. What is the situation is about? So we have Joan, and Joan what?
John works in the excellent recommendations, but it's not producing to her capability.
Capabilities. What is capability? Can you define it? Optimal strengths, what else? Competences, hard skills, soft skills. So that's something that's, so she got excellent qualification, but they said, well, she's not working properly. And she is very, what? Dissatisfied with her current job. And she is searching for what?
For some challenge.
For some challenge, for, you know, to give you some authorities, for freedom with your customers, right? And something that, so she can prove herself. And here we're talking like, the first question is, who is responsible in this situation? Oh, she's also said that she wants what? Money. Yeah, she wants a high salary. And other than that, she said, I want a substitute, I want assistant, you know.
Yes, and they also needs an assistance.
Assistant, So the first question, so this is, you know, just general. We're not talking about particular company or, you know, some specific condition, but who is responsible in this situation? Yeah, HR manager. This is a person who said, okay, so there is a problem between expectations, right, and real world, reality. So that's a HR problem. Somebody who hired her. Can a manager delegate responsibility to another level of management?
For this one, I think yes, because one wasn't the one who like and if she needs more money and assistance, manager cannot provide it. He has to ask
if there is some position, but the problem is that she is not producing up to her capabilities. You know, she's not showing that she can do better job. You know, give me more money and I'll show you. Yeah, so they're like, money's first, okay. So what step could she have taken to make sure that the problem was prevented? You know, what can HR manager do for this situation to make it clear?
Ask the right questions and your expectations.
There is such a good thing as you know, like employee responsibilities. When you have the list and you have something that write about, so what you should do, what's your responsibilities, what's your functionality, you know, what's expected from you. So there is a clear understanding. Обязанности. That's a misunderstanding. And we said, okay, write down the suggested management process, something that can prevent for these problems. Here, can you see the presentation, guys? What about so over there? Yeah, I'm asking because I'm sharing the screen, and sometimes it's working, sometimes, you know, something happens. So you should write something like this. when you define the problem, when you set objectives, assign some responsibilities, you know. See, you can't delegate responsibility. You can delegate authority. But you can, you know, say, okay, you're responsible for this, for this, for this, for this. And you also have to allocate some resources. If we are talking about extra money, like bonus of the salary, if she wants to work with the clients, okay, give her percentage of sales, for example. Same thing with the personal assistant. Do you have enough financial resources? Like I ask you, for example, how many people in your marketing department? And you says only one. So there is no possible way you can extend your department for right now. It was 20 years ago, that was the same. So design control, right? Work plans, milestones, schedules. Something that you can see if she's doing properly, if she's working properly. Yeah, you know, controls, how to control, like, you know, week report with the customers, you know, with and sales. Something that you can say, okay, you're making your plan, or I'm sorry, girl, but this is not happening. This is something that you're not working effectively enough. Monitor the progress, the percentage of sale, solve problem along the way, a price performance. So this is something, if you have a problem, and this is something like, if you can control it, then you can, you know, show what should be done differently, what can be changed, some instruments. You're not just leaving a person without anything. And also there is such thing as a praise performance, right? So see if she can do. Okay, so virtual guys, here, this is the questions for case number 2. This is questions for case number 1. Okay, just mention it. Okay, next. Here, that's what you talk about. And we are talking about pyramids. And here you can see the level of management. Like you said, we have the first level or the lower level of supervision. We have middle managers managing other managers. So this is managing other managers and supervisors. And we have a top, vice president, CEO, director, right? Professor Pavlov, whatever. So on the other side, there are competences and skills. And the pyramid is the opposite. So you can see the lower the level, the more technical skills are expected. Technical skills is the ability to apply expertise and perform special tasks with proficiency with the shorter term consequences. When we're talking about middle, yes?
Elena, I'm so sorry. In screen, open Microsoft Word, now presentation.
Yes, open this presentation.
1 second. Here. What about this one?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is a management process, and this is your management skill or competence. Yeah. Please keep me informed if you have any problems with this. Okay. I also need time to adjust for this.
Okay.
Virtual. Okay. Thank you, Dima. Look. So we have top, middle, and low level of management or first level of supervision. And there is a pyramid. And you have vice president at the top and supervision at the bottom. And you can see there is like one vice president and one president, 5 middle managers, and I don't know, 20 supervisors. So that's also the number of people in the company, and it's also like the pyramid. On the other side, we have conceptual, human and technical skills and competence, managerial skills. And when we're talking about vice president or Elon Musk, then we have the ability to think conceptually and solve complex problems with longer term consequences for the enterprise. Strategic management, long-term position. When we're talking about middle managers, those people are psychologists and they work with other supervisors. And so there has to be, they should have the strong HR skills and psychological skills. So that's the person that the ability to work well with others, the intermediate term consequences. This is the person that coordinates a buffer between top manager decision and supervisor responsibilities. And supervisor, there is a technical staff, and this is the ability to apply expertise and perform a special task with proficiency with the shorter term consequences. So those are our working horses, people who work constantly for the success of the company, and that's a more operative planning, day-to-day activities, routine stuff. Short term, middle term, long term. Okay. Also, when we're talking about managerial success and we're talking about our managers, we should think about, you know, if you're writing a resume and they ask you to describe what are your strengths, right? We can think about manager with leadership ability. This is the person to influence others to perform tasks. Formal, informal leader. Self-objectivity, ability to evaluate oneself realistically. Analytical thinking, ability to interpret and explain patterns in information. So to collect data, to organize data, and to evaluate data. For example, prediction. What will be our profit next month? Yeah, in the future. If we have statistics this year, last year. So what can we think about our production rate? Behavior flexibility, ability to modify personal behavior to reach a goal. Like I told you the example with the IT specialists. They are high qualified personnel, but you have to find a way so they can work together on the project. Oral communications, ability to express ideas clearly in oral presentations.
Elena Lvovna, some problem. Now in the 15th slide, go to the 16th slide, please.
Here?
Yeah, that's good.
А вот так? Дима?
Да-да-да, все появилось.
Written communications, ability to express one's ideas clearly in writing. Like, for example, if you can write correspondence, how you talk to your suppliers, how you write letters to your customers, can you negotiate, Can you work with like unhappy customers, etc., etc.? Can you be a support for them, after sales support? Personal impactability, to create a good impression and confidence. That means that you are the face of the company. That's when we're talking about like marketing manager, for example. You will be presented your product like for the client, like at the fair, on conference. Resistance to stress ability. How you work under stressful conditions. Tolerance for uncertainty ability. Are you an ambitious person? Can you work, what's your plans for the future? Like, for example, I ask like program engineers, they said, we need to change our job position each 3 years to grow better, like, you know, to learn something more, to be on track. So they're searching for new job position each 3 years. This is like a, that's ambition. That's something, you know, I want to have better job, bigger company, more creative tasks, whatever, major projects. Okay. Dima, can you see the next slide? Дима.
Еще не переключился.
No.
Мы видим их, но они не переключились еще на него. Все, работает.
If you just stop it and that's happened, you know, you just stay with the slide and that's it. So that's, you know, the rest of the lecture, and we talk about that a manager gets result effectively through others by the process of delegation, right? So we're delegating responsibilities. Also, a manager cannot delegate ultimate responsibility. So he can delegate authority to do something. Responsibility, this is manager. He is the person in charge. He is the person of control. But, you know, other than that, he can say, okay, you are the chief person here, like for the group leader, informal group leader. Other than that, he delegates authority. It is, though, the combination of sharing responsibility through assignment and delegating authority, then a manager can hold other levels accountable for getting things done properly and by manager control. Okay, guys, here. Can you see it now? There is a questions. Can you see the questions?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, so this is something that you write me about for next week. So for next week, you will write me a short, brief summary of our lecture.
Short answers on these questions. Yes.
What?
We need to write short answers for these questions.
Short answers for the questions, yes. Like 1-2 pages, not more than 2 pages, no.
1-2 pages on one question or all?
No, all of them.
Oh, okay.
Definition, something, you know, this is something that I understand, that you understand what are we talking about. I need to know that you understand what we talk about. So we talk about roles, we talk about functions, we talk about management definition, and here, this is the part that I like. Here, give some examples. So all this information you can find in my lecture, in the presentation. Here, this is your personal opinion. When you are giving examples, this is something that, you know, just management activities, technical activities, functions, roles, something that's your personal stuff. Also, I want you to write me a brief answers for cases. Yes, for cases. So 8 questions for lectures and 2 cases. Are you following me? Huh? Yeah, I can show you it here. Hold on. Замечательная вещь. Yeah. Задание. Задание Modern Management Technologies. Can you see it? No? Экраном поделюсь. Сейчас. If you check задания в Teams, можете посмотреть?
А где конкретно что я?
Задание.
Пока не появилось.
Ну, я тогда либо дома спокойно уже сделаю, либо, то есть в задание вы просто мне этот практику скидываете в Teams. So you add your files in Teams. Okay? If you will have problems, I'll show you how to do it like next class. Okay? Надире.
Yeah.
For those of you who has VK, you can also find me there, and if you have any question, you can ask me there.
Все задания мы вам будем высылать в Teams, да? Только в Teams вам присылать.
Да, да, желательно.
А можно, вот я просто вот присоединился по ссылке к занятию сегодняшнему, но у меня нет, получается, у меня нет группы, потому что я, получается, не могу ни задания не просмотреть, потому что я как бы просто, куда мне присоединиться, не подскажете? Потому что я просто, получается, к собранию присоединился, а вот ни файлов, ничего я не вижу.
Никита Александрович, а у тебя есть этот кабинет? Сделан?
Личный кабинет в Teams в самом?
Да.
Да, есть, конечно.
Ты можешь, ты поним, я говорю, ты можешь, смотри.
Команду зайти, да?
Там две команды. Вот смотри сюда. Видно, нет?
Сейчас.
Два предмета.
Нет, нам не видно, мы только вас видим.
Да, вы себя бывает так показываете.
Окей.
Да, не торопитесь, все. Разберемся. Так.
Команды.
Ага.
Modern Management Technologies.
Сейчас я в поиске наберу. Modern Management.
Лена Львовна, появилось задание.
Хорошо. То есть вот это задание вы выполняете и сбрасываете мне сюда. И я вижу, что вы работаете и вы участвуете.
Я понял, да, все.
Нашли? Все?
Ага.
Есть еще ко мне вопросы?
No.
Do you have any questions for me, guys?
No.
No, okay.
Что дальше?
Походу все.
Ну, мне тоже кажется, что все.
Вопросов
У меня
нет.
пока
Нет,
что
спасибо,
всё. У меня
У меня
4
просто все зависло.
4 года Чуйкина, когда пара заканчивается, я лучше всего это чувствую. Да, пора пойти уже.
Ну, все, значит.
Опыт не пропьешь. Я диплом на этом получил.
Okay.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to fix the problem here. So, okay. See you on Friday. We have another course. So there are two courses. One is Modern Management Technologies. Another one is Managerial Economy. Also, we do have, so there's also like a lecture plus practice. So I try to give you some materials like, you know, like in 2 days. So you have time to check and translate if you need to, and, you know, just to see if you don't understand anything. And I hope that you will join us here, like in real class. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for listening.
See you on Friday.
Goodbye.
Thank you for the lesson.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you on Friday. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.